Let's do this. Got it. All right, hold on. Should be up and ready in a second.
Not Ash. Except all the Ash.
Whoa. What page am I live on? Hold on. What the fuck?
What the
There we go. Okay, there we go. That's much better. All right. Welcome, everybody. The Moon Knight trailer just dropped. We're going to do our trailer breakdown. We only saw it once, obviously, outside of this. So we're going to be talking through this so we don't really get flagged. So if you guys checked it out, then you're good. If not, then you'll be listening to us talk through it. But all right, let's do this. Let's do this. All right, here we go.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
I'm thinking all that. I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
She's telling me what I know about the character already. She's a little off.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see because I know they're going to, but in this trailer, it doesn't seem like multiple personalities. It just seems like he's doing things that he doesn't remember.
Yeah.
So I thought it was very interesting that they catered it that way. Clearly, we know he will have multiple personalities, but
he doesn't.
Well, I mean, or it's something taking him over, right? Like basically, it's like some other personality taking over. That's what it seems like they're doing.
Well, he has three or four personalities that I believe this series will travel through. I know they're going to do that. This isn't me saying that they're not. It's just this trailer is making it very much seem like he's just doing things he doesn't remember. It's not necessarily becoming a whole nother person. So I just thought that was an interesting way to go.
I do really appreciate every series movie. They try to have some other different element, and this is definitely a different element than we've seen.
No.
With MCU.
This year will be very, very, very crazy.
Yeah. Like that right there, that visual right there looks crazy.
Yeah, that's the last one.
Yeah, that looks cool. Like,
that's a super tall woman right there.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, just putting that out there, not saying like we know anybody or anything, but me and Joel have been telling you guys that it's probably going to be in March for a long time now. When everyone was just like, oh my God, it's going to be forever until we get more MCU shows. And we definitely were like, well, it won't be outside of February or March. Like they won't make us wait till May or June to get.
I guess it's because I thought like they were like also like shifting to Star Wars now. That's what it felt like, because they gave us the little Obi-Wan logo thing that's on Disney Plus already. So I assumed that was next. So I didn't think they would have it. Maybe I doubt that is coming between now and this. If they put, you think they do both at, then they do 01 right behind it, then right after that we'll get this like in February.
No. There won't be anything in February. I mean, it was like last year. Last year they took breaks. It wasn't literally every single month. So
I just didn't expect this to be now.
Yeah, I mean, we kept saying to go that long without a series and the series is done would be bananas. Now I will say this. I'm shocked Moon Knight is the first series because Miss Marvel has been done well before Moon Knight was.
I think the backlash.
That's more so of a shocker.
We'll see.
But I do believe Miss Marvel more so is just on the back burner just to put it closer to the Marvels.
I hope
that's it. Yeah.
Go ahead, Joel.
No, I think what happened was that they had reshoots, but she couldn't shoot reshoots because she was filming the Marvel. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why it got postponed so long. So now she's done with shooting whatever for the Marvel, so she can go do her reshoots for Ms. Marvel.
Right. Yeah, no. I'm 100% with you on that. I just took it more so as you just want it. The Marvels doesn't come out till the following year, so you
Right.
don't want people to have to go back to February of 2022 to remember everything that they just saw. You just want to put it out, strategically closer, so it's more fresh.
Right.
This makes the most sense. But all right, let's keep
It
going.
does. That's from the trailer right there. The first trailer. The
Yeah.
other one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're alive. What's wrong with you, Mark?
Why did you call me Mark?
Then this gave you at least there's two different people. I don't know this guy. Looks like is he mind controlling them or are they just worshipers?
He's like a cult leader.
More of a cult leader.
Okay. Interesting. Is he? I'm not gonna say it. I'm just leave it alone.
Now that's interesting.
That's new.
What is he fighting though? Like, it didn't look normal.
I'm telling you right
whatever
now,
it was.
Matt Reeves. I'm telling you right now, Matt Reeves. If I don't get white eyes at the beginning of March, I'm fighting you. I don't want it just at the end of March. I want it beginning of March too. But no, what this looks like, very amazing trailer.
Yeah.
What I hope they do, which would be very unique and very interesting, depending on how long this show decides to be a series, because I believe it won't be long. I believe at some point they'll just make it into a movie. But what's intriguing to me most is Mark isn't his first personality. It's not his dormant personality,
Steve.
which is interesting because he is Mark Spector, the special ops agent. So it's very interesting that whatever persona he's taking on now, Mark is the persona he just has no idea about. So I would be very interested, if they go the route of if this is going to be season based, that the first season is just figuring out who Mark Spector is. And then in your other seasons, you add on more personalities, the taxi driver, the billionaire. Because I thought they were going to start with Mark. So the fact that they're not starting with Mark is very interesting.
They're starting with a completely different character.
Right.
Like a new character. That's not something from the comics.
Not at all. Someone that works at an art gallery or museum or whatever, that's completely new. Because like we said, it's special ops. It's the taxi driver.
He's a merc. He's a mercenary.
It's a great cover.
He's a mercenary.
I was gonna say a great cover would insinuate that he's aware that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But no, I really hope that's the route that they go. Like you spend this season getting to know who he was before whatever this personality is that he's taken. But go ahead, Joel.
Well, if he is Steve, I believe the billionaire's name is Steve.
Yeah.
Stephen Grant. But he doesn't look like he's a rich guy, and that's what he was. But he does kind of seem if anything, he looks paranoid. He said he works at an art gallery, whatever.
Yeah.
Paranoid. Maybe it's a different take on the Stephen Grant personality.
I hope not, because I really did like that rich personality. But the only reason why I didn't go that route was, and again, could you? Sure. But he was taking the bus to work.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe he's just not rich yet.
I mean, that's possible if he's building, but he also looks like he's working for that lady that was telling him that he was late and whatnot. So that's just why I never got the billionaire. It seems like you said, a new personality.
It does feel, but he's using the same name. If it's the same name, you know what I mean? We haven't heard his last name yet, but if you're gonna go by what we hear, Steven is one of the personalities. It's just not either they changed it or there's a new version of Steven. You know what I mean?
Well, look, let's put it as simple as this, Joe. I just had to say this on shout out to Just Your Average Joe on Joe's podcast this morning. There is no comparison between Moon Knight and Batman. So the fact that this is coming out the end of March with Batman coming out at the beginning, I could 100% understand why you don't just want to go. His main persona is a billionaire guy who at night, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's just
too on the nose.
It's too on the nose, and you want to get away from people thinking he's just Marvel's Batman.
Man, absolutely.
So
that's going to happen anyway, though.
It is, but at least
that's only going to happen because, yes, but it also is going to happen, Trevon, because I think people keep thinking that it's Marvel's answer to Batman, but there's nothing comparable of the two characters whatsoever. Not even a little bit.
I
Nothing.
mean, there's obvious commonalities between the two.
A little bit.
Like they're both vigilantes that work at night that use gadgets. Like it's pretty obvious. There's similar.
I mean, that shouldn't be
The white
enough
eyes, the
for
beating up
Moon
the
Knight.
cape, the glue,
beating up people.
They're both, there's a lot of similarities, but I think it'd be
The nut
foolish
being nuts.
similarities, but there's obviously very big differences as well. So it's also lazy. It's lazy to say that it's a Batman ripoff.
That's all I'm saying, Joel. The difference is
to lie to yourself and say there's not similarities. You're just lying to yourself.
Not enough for me to look at him and go, "Oh, that's a Batman ripoff."
Hey, a lot of people did as back in the day.
Like I could look at not Deadshot. Sorry, I could look at Deathstroke and Deadpool and say that. To me, I don't look at Batman.
A lot of again, there are very big similarities, but they're
very different.
Right.
They are. I don't know these two. For me, not knowing this character at all, very similar kind of to me when I first heard about him and the look of him. Now the personality thing, that's different.
Colors.
Yeah, that's a little different.
One used to be a murderer for a living.
Both of them are kind of psychotic.
Both are a little crazy, yes, but one is really crazy.
Yeah, okay. Let's Titans did that. Let's back down from that. Batman, I don't think is psychotic. I think there's a screw or two loose with the guy, but I don't think he's psychotic.
He doesn't have what Moon Knight has.
Moon Knight is 100% psychotic. I don't think Batman is somebody I would ever think to being psychotic.
I just know it might have been a good idea to put him in the same month, though. That's going to be interesting because that means it'll be in theaters at the same time. This will be on
again. All a person has to do is watch the trailer and then watch Batman's trailer, and then you could easily go, "Oh, they seem very different." This doesn't seem like I'm watching Batman and then just Batman light. Like it's when you watch the two trailers, nothing about it.
Yes, this guy transformed.
The whole transforming thing.
That looks cool. I appreciate that. I love that. So I was like, cool.
I mean, I had no problem with it. Look, Moon Knight is one of your first steps into supernatural. So to me, it makes way more sense than me trying to believe like, all right, Ghost Rider is boom, you just catch on fire. Blade, he doesn't have to change into anything, but Moon Knight has to go run in an alley? No. So him being able to do this,
that's all he's used to. I mean,
way more practical. Does he have any like actual abilities, or he just beats up people?
Yes, depending on the moon, he could be strong as shit.
It depends. Like
also, his power actually comes from the moon.
Writing the character.
Wow.
Yeah, power does come from them. It's why the moon is very important to Moon Knight. Yeah, he does have abilities at certain points. Again, which is why I said this show, once you watch it, you will leave it going, yeah, okay. Different. Very different. But yeah, I enjoyed this trailer. I also enjoyed them giving more of a hindsight to the bathroom sequence. Because I thought there was someone that he was punching when we got the teaser. I'm like, there's no way he's that crazy. I mean, I've seen it before in the comics where he thought he was fighting alongside Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Captain America, and it was just him utilizing their abilities. There was no one there. So I'm like, it could be. But fighting someone that massive is very intriguing to whatever the main villain is of this series. So I'm very excited for this series. This is a great trailer. Moon Knight looks awesome. I am very interested why they went more mummy with his suit than practical.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I enjoyed that.
I actually agree with you there because like it jarred me a little bit. I'm like, what's a different take? I was like,
what do you mean?
I don't mind it.
So like if you look behind you, Trevon, that's his more obviously it's all white, but that's his more practical suit.
Okay.
Right? Where you look at Batman and it's just like it's like, you know, But
More
this,
form-fitting.
his wrists
Maybe
are
that's another.
wrapped.
Maybe that's another reason why they did that.
Yeah, I mean, and they definitely delve into the more Egyptian look.
Right. Which,
Um,
again, it makes sense because that is the origins of the character. But you do look at it and you kind of go, all right.
different. Like it kind of if you there's a run. It kind the costume kind of looks like the David Finch version of the Moon Knight.
Yes.
Bulkier, it's a little thicker, but the whole mummy wrap look, that's new.
That's
The
very
whole,
Okay.
And
the golden symbol.
I think
That's
what's a
little
bit
new.
more jarring is like this isn't like when we first saw when you first see Falcon's suit in Winter Soldier, right? And then you go, well, clearly they're going to give him a more accurate suit. Then you get to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and like he's clearly going to get his cap suit. I do believe this is a look that he'll maintain for the future. They just might touch it up a bit in a few places, but that's what I think is a little bit more frustrating for me. But I told you, my biggest thing is put Moon Knight in an actual suit and tie, and this series is a win for me. I'm glad I didn't see that at all in this trailer, because if they do it, I do want to be very surprised when I see that look, because it's just such a dope look. But obviously seeing how this suit acclimates to his body, the likelihood of me getting that look seems slim to none. So,
Mr. Knight?
Yeah, seeing Mr. Knight to me.
I think you'll get Mr. Knight. I do.
We'll see. Mr. Knight again is another persona. So we see how far they go with the persona aspect of it. Go ahead, Trevon.
I might keep switching for some.
What were you gonna say, Trevon? Oh wait, we can't hear you now, Trevon. What's up, Mystery? Nope. Try again. We
Can
still
you hear me right now?
Yep, I can hear you now. There you go. Go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna ask, like, does he ever like become in control of it, like become aware of his power and like can I don't know, like, because I heard him mention like with Midnight Suns and or like with Blade, or like is he that aware where he can fight with someone? Like, does that ever happen where he?
Well, he's still very psychotic, but it's not psychotic to where he can't work with others. But the man is still crazy, team or no team. He's
No, because I was just wondering. I was like, this was a cool character, but I would like to see him with other people. And the way it's showing here doesn't sound like he's in the right mindset.
Well, also remember, this is just happening to him.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the origin.
So he hasn't been. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said he looks like he's in London. That's new too. So there's a lot of stuff they're doing differently than what the comic books do. So we're gonna have to wait and find out how they approach it.
Right. But I do also want to put out there for people who aren't that familiar with the character, he hasn't been Moon Knight for a while. Like he's becoming Moon Knight in the series.
As far as we know,
people don't think
story.
Right. Just so people don't think Moon Knight is one of the personalities that he's had for forever. Like, no, Moon Knight is very new. He's supposed to be Mark Spector right now, so I'm very interested as to why he's not. But again, they did allude to Mark with him having a gun in his bloody hand and not understanding why. So the killer in him will come out.
So that's what I was worried about when we saw the first trailer. I was like, are they going to avoid the whole mercenary background? Because I was nervous. I was like, that's a big part of the story. But it looks like that's going to be a backstory. And whatever the fuck's going on with the Steven personality is going to be our eyes into all the other personalities.
Yeah. Yep. That's his constant. Go ahead.
Does he have the multiple personalities before usually he gets the Moon Knight stuff? Or
I believe in the comics it was almost hand in hand. Because remember, Mark Spector was it. He was just Mark Spector. He was just a mercenary, a killer for hire. Okay. And then I believe he almost died in the sands and was found by the Moon God.
Okay.
And then
fallen into something.
Followers. But yes,
pyramid or whatever.
I believe becoming Moon Knight is what makes him certifiable. But Mark Spector 100% was his dominant.
Mark Spector is the dominant personality, or what it's supposed to be. And then when he became in the comic books, it didn't start out that he had multiple or whatever the fuck. That changed when because he had so many of them. They're like, you know, what would be a good idea? Let's make him crazy. Like, and that's what happened. So he had three different persons. Mainly, he had Mark Spector, who was also Moon Knight. Then he had Stephen Grant, who was the millionaire playboy, and then he had Jake Lockley, who was the cab driver. That's where he would, he'd get all his info from all the dirty shit down there. And he had like a dude that worked with him named Frenchie. Was kind of like his Alfred. And there's a lot of shit that you'll learn.
Well, let's say this, Joel. I would say the way this trailer was shot for you, Trevon, it would be better to go in with as little information as possible, because if they change a lot, you won't go. But I literally just read yesterday that he was this taxi driver. And they're like, oh, we didn't want to do taxi driver. And you're like, well, what the hell? So I think for you, it's best to have as little knowledge as possible and just because the MCU beats to its own drum, just let the MCU introduce Moon Knight to you. And then you just go by whatever the MCU does. And then whatever things you're like, oh, is this accurate? We can kind of fill in those blanks. Okay. But I think the worst thing would be not knowing about a character in the MCU, doing all the homework, and then they do probably very little of it because they want to go so different than what the books did. So I think for you, this is probably the best route to go. But it does look like from the trailer, it's obviously different than the comics because his transformation happens at work. I don't know if he disturbs something. I don't know because it's so drastically different than the comic books. So I don't know that is there something he breaks? I have no idea. Obviously, you saw the moon god chasing after him. Yeah. Whatever he did, he's awoken something. I just don't know how deep they're going into this as far as what happens to make a Moon Knight. I don't. To be
fair, we don't even know it's real.
Yes, 100%. And I think so. Okay, so let me ask you this, Joel, because I know you're more so expectations aren't high, so whatever they change, you're fine. So if they do go the route of there is no powers. Moon Knight is just another variant of his multiple personalities. Because again, it makes sense because he is skilled from being Mark. So you can go, well, he knows how to fight. He's that. So that makes sense. So would you be okay if they don't go, he has abilities based off of the moon. He's just crazy enough to dress up as this,
if in his mind he thinks that's what gives him power, and that's not really true. Right, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that because, like, to me, it was never. It's not like he has powers and like it was noticed. You know what I mean? It's not like it was always like, does he or doesn't he? Maybe sometimes he's stronger than others. Sometimes, remember this guy, he debuted fighting a werewolf.
Yes,
and that was his debut. Like that's what he does. He fights monsters and shit like that. So like that's what he is. So. At the end of the day, whatever they want to do.
That was on the ground?
Yes, it is a monster. Not a werewolf, but it is a monster.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is. It might be the thing that was chasing him. I have no idea. It's weird.
That would be very weird if he's fighting the moon god. Like, this is how you got your abilities. You're going to fight it? That'd be interesting.
I have no idea what's fucking going on.
So what are we making of Ethan Hawke?
My God, I'm still recovering from a cold. I don't know much about this character. I've heard rumors of who he might be. Something about the sun. So it looks like he's a cult leader.
Right.
So that might be his one of his villains in this first season. And so they'll get into it. I'm not sure what. I don't know much about Moon Knight villains aside from like Bushman and other characters, but
it does look like if we're going based off dialogue that he heads to him to get a spiritual awakening because he wants to kind of control what's going on, and he looks like he'll be led by this character, and then obviously when this character finds out what he possesses, I think that's when he'll maybe get a little bit more intrigued in his newest student. But I wanted to you even got a guy back there with an AK-47. This is very Loki-ish what I'm looking at right now. Like, I don't know if this is kneel before me Loki, or if this is more so, oh no, we all just believe in him, so we're kneeling because we love him so much. I have no idea what to make of that. All right, I want to get to another shot. And then look, they're all kind of just staring at him.
Yeah, because he didn't bow.
Well, I think he just arrived. I think he has no idea what he just walked into. And then I love how they keep doing this shot. This is such a beautiful shot because you're showcasing how broken he is. You know what I'm saying? So you're looking at it, and then he obviously let's mute it here, but he then stomps the hell out of the glass. So it's very interesting. And then here, obviously he's crazy as hell.
And he's just aware now, like, oh, I did that.
Right? Yeah. And we saw a little bit of that in the teaser that they dropped last year. And of course, that's the money shot right there. So, I mean, if I'm going by this look here, this transformation here,
it might be a werewolf.
It looks a little thin, but
yeah, I think if you're Marvel, you kind of want to wait until
they're doing a werewolf.
Right. Yeah, you kind of want to wait until that, especially if these things don't connect. You don't want to rush a connection.
It would be cool to see the werewolf by night. Yes.
Yeah. So this kind of looks like, if you look at the reflection in the background, it looks like the moon hits the what is it? A crescent moon? The crescent moon. And that's what transforms him. Because he doesn't look aware of the transformation. It looks like it's just happening. So I think that was very interesting that it's just happening. You know? And yeah, that doesn't look like a werewolf. I can kind of see the kind of headgear and then ears sticking up. But this is also a beautiful shot. The jumping over.
Yeah, that's abnormal. That's not normal. No human could jump that high.
Right. No, not at all. But as you see behind him, Trevon.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
That's the importance of Moon Knight. That moon has the hit. But this shot here, I wanted to pause on this shot here. This suit, again, this isn't me shit talking the suit. The suit looks great, especially the eyes. It's just this here, the wraps that seems just like he's mummified.
Yeah, look at his whole face like that.
Like you said, leaning into the more Egyptian. It'll make sense if they really.
If that's what they're doing, cool, no problem. I'm just very curious because that seems like more work than what you actually needed to do. Just a regular leather suit, like, you know what I'm saying? So to do that, I'm very.
I'm not gonna lie, it does look a little over designed, but
right.
That's just my opinion. Like, I like the look of it, but it has to grow on me because right now it's a little much.
Only thing I look at it as also he can't take his mask off. This isn't one of those suits.
There is a picture of him with the mask off.
No, I'm just saying,
in suit?
In the show. Yeah,
I saw it. It dropped earlier today. There's a picture of him without the mask on or the hood. It's just.
Oh, see, I didn't know. I saw that, but I didn't know if that was real or not. Like, I didn't.
Well, look at the suit. It's this exact same suit.
No. I mean, I thought someone just like digitized his head onto the suit because it's. So he is playing Dr. Arthur Harrow. Okay. So okay.
Whoever that is. That's the problem. Like, oh, okay. Who's that? Like,
okay, so
I guess we'll find out in a minute.
Let's see.
I want to find that. I want to see it. So I was like, oh, no, they're not gonna hide Oscar.
I'm curious.
They're gonna show us Oscar.
Okay.
Everybody else can take their.
Oh, okay. So I see what his connection is gonna be. Okay, so he's big into medicine, so that he's also sick himself, so that explains the the cane.
Makes sense.
Okay, all right. So we'll get more into this character. I want to read a little bit more up on him. But I see where they're going with it. Interesting. All right. So yeah, I think like Joel said, you maybe went a little bit too much with your costume design. So again, I'm very curious. There's numerous looks for Moon Knight. And Moon Knight might be the one character in all of Marvel that I would ever accept in costume changes.
Oh, there it
Mid-season, mid-movie. Because he has so many different looks. I'd be very interested in that. Yeah, you're showing me Khonshu?
Yeah, it looks cool. I didn't see that character that clearly. I was like, oh, cool. It has a staff.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the photo you're talking about, Joel. Like I said, when I saw it from someone that I'm like, I don't see this more places than just here. So that's why I was more hesitant to it. Cause shit, remember when we saw the photo of Andrew Garfield leaning on the rails for No Way Home? And it was kind of like that. I mean, it could be real, but that looks fake as shit. And then look, it turned out to be real.
I completely.
Yeah, you know what? The first time we saw that costume, the Moon Knight leak, I didn't believe it at first. I'm like, that can't be the costume.
Right.
It turned out to be real.
They need to fire some people over there.
Yeah, that's the exact same costume. I expected a little better.
I'll say this, Trevon. You only need to fire somebody if what's in this photo that says property of Marvel Studios is real. That means that was test footage that was sent to somebody that had the watermark of property of Marvel, and someone said, I'm gonna leak. But yeah, when I look at it this close, Joel, I'm gonna be honest with you. Again, not hating on it, but I kind of dislike it more looking at it this close. Because it's kind of just like a whole bunch of what the fuck, really.
Out of CG, you gotta remember this out of CG.
No. You're mishearing me. I'm not saying it looks bad because it's unfinished or whatever. I'm saying the design of it is what I don't. The
Moon Knight design's a little weird.
Right. You could CGI it, with the best of them. I still don't like the look of it. But again, I'm not saying that my issue is that it looks unfinished. I'll never judge something off of secondhand.
It's different. It's something that has to grow on me, but it's whatever.
Look, I'll say this: the one thing that Moon Knight has working for it is that it looks like the show will be so good, I won't care really all that much about not really liking it all that much. The design of it. Because again, we're gonna get a lot of shots of Moon Knight jumping, leaping, full cape. It might not be that bad watching the series. All right, we got some comments here. Just saw the trailer. Looks super dope. Can't wait for him to call Dracula a nerd. That's funny, Mystery.
Why did they change the accent when he's the Moon Knight and no longer Stephen Grant? You know what I mean? Like, does every personality have a different voice? Is what I'm trying to say. Does he change?
Oh, yeah. I would assume so. You would have to.
I could see that being a reason.
Because maybe Mark Spector
let him flex.
Yeah, exactly. Look, because when he was using the accent, caught me off guard. I was like, "What? Who's that?"
Well, also, it's an intriguing way to go because again, we read the books, so there was no accent in the books. So this is very interesting.
The book too, though.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
there's a synopsis. The synopsis.
No, go ahead.
The series follows Stephen Grant, so it's official. It is Stephen Grant, a mild-mannered gift shop employee. That's different. who becomes plagued with blackouts and memories of another life. Stephen discovers he has dissociative identity disorder and shares a body with a mercenary named Mark Spector. As Stephen/Mark's enemies converge upon them, they must navigate their complex identities while thrust into a deadly mystery among the powerful gods of Egypt.
So it does look like they're doing what I said I hope they're doing, which is your focus is just these two. And then you can get to the cab driver and whatever else you want to do.
Jake Lockley.
Right.
There's a little girl personality, but you don't see her. It's more in his head.
Right.
But called the inner child, and of course, there's Mr. Knight.
Mm-hmm. So I do believe they'll go other places with it later on. So I'm fine with that. I'm 100% fine with that. And also, again, there's
Poster's
only.
dope.
Say it again.
That poster is dope.
That is a really nice poster.
I was super
Yeah.
impressed with that poster. I was like, wow, that's a nice start. Like, very nice. Very, very nice.
Yeah, I'm with you on the poster aspect of it. Let me hold on one second. Let me just look at it one more time. Yeah, God, geez, the wraps. But no,
Yeah,
that's a good
it takes getting used to. I knew it when I first saw that costume. I was like, I hope it's not the case. But not so much the wrap. It just seems so bulky.
It does. It really does.
Whatever, though. It'll grow on me.
Yeah, it will. Look. I'll say this: we come from the CW, Joel. We've said those words a lot more than we've wanted to. It'll grow on me.
I'll show you. I'll show you what it reminds me of. Oh, sorry. Wow. It reminds me of this version, except with wraps.
Hold on, you can share the screen if you have it.
I can do it. You're right.
Yeah, I just put it on. But while you're doing that, let me read what else the comment section saying. We got a lot of people in here. Moon Knight looks confusing. What do you mean by that, Crayon Dude?
I think you're right, and that's on purpose.
But it depends. I'm curious what he means. Like, does it look? Are you saying it looks confusing in the sense of you can't grasp it, or it looks confusing because, like, I'm very curious what you mean. Because if you mean by the multiple personalities, I will tell you it looks like they're only doing 2. They did all the multiple personalities that this man possesses. It'd be more confusing to you.
But a great thing for Oscar Isaac. If it
What?
was
Say it again, Trevon.
It'd be a great thing for him to like show his acting chops. I guess you could say.
That's why I think he took it. That's why I think he took it because, again, Apocalypse didn't give Oscar Isaac much to chew on, and it didn't help that we thought he was Ivan Ooze from that first trailer.
I did see.
That should look bad.
I did not hate his Apocalypse. I thought it was cool, kinda. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I didn't hate the movie. I didn't hate the movie.
I thought his acting was great. I thought his look was god awful in every aspect.
It was a bad look.
If you weren't going to make this guy large, just don't do the guy at all. I don't understand.
They did make him large.
No, okay, I'm sorry. Are you familiar with the look of Apocalypse, Trevon?
Yes, but I'm like.
You mean when they made him actually large?
Because you're talking large, like growing
I know.
this, but that made him look even more like a Power Ranger.
He's supposed to be like Juggernaut big, yeah, like bigger than everybody else. I got you. And more blue.
Yeah. And you made him look, that lighting to that first official photo they dropped was so unflattering. It was just like, bro, are you trying to make me hate this?
That didn't help at all, no.
Like, geez. And again, the acting was good. The acting wasn't the problem. The problem was I couldn't get over the visual. The visual was just so glaring. It was like, oh my God, this is bad.
I guess for me, it was just you give me powers and some good casting with like Psylocke from finally getting Psylocke, stuff like that. That was fun for me.
Well, see, Joel, if that's what we get, where it's the raps plus the brass knuckles, I could live with that.
I'm just saying this is what it looks like to me, except they gave him extra raps
on the chest part.
Yeah. I mean, there's rap everywhere, but it kind of looks like that version of Moon Knight.
Did the tip of his mask come down that far?
It does come down, but they gave him the moon symbol on the tip too in the new costume in the show.
So clearly the show version of Moon Knight spoke to Hawkeye about branding. It was just like, I'm gonna put a fucking moon everywhere.
Yeah, look at this.
Here.
You know, there's. When I first saw it, when they said it was bulky, and then this is the first thing that came to mind, like bulky Moon Knight. This is I forget when it was when they were trying to rebrand. That was a couple years ago. It was before the Mr. Knight thing and shit.
like
Jesus,
that.
my bad.
I like that.
No, it's cool.
My bad.
Again, like I said, if the acting holds, there's very little about this that I can't get over. You know what I'm saying? If the
Yeah.
show's as good as we know it will be, I'll get over that shit rather quickly. Look, I said, I think I told Joel this before. And we're not going all over the place, but I hated Flash's first costume in season 1, but the show was so goddamn good. I didn't care. I didn't care at all. And then you progressively made the suit better going forward. So.
That took a while to get used to.
Yes, it did. Because it was just like, why that color? like, why did you go that color? I don't understand.
They did everything completely like weird. Like it was a dark red. I mean, that's fine. They did the red logo on top of the lightning instead of the white. It was like a pleather. You know what I mean? It was a lot of weird designs. But, look, it took 8 seasons, but we're finally at the perfect design.
Right. We finally perfected it. All right. Daniel O'Neill says, this is weak as hell. Okay, Daniel. Are you not a Moon Knight fan? Because that trailer was pretty dope.
What was weak about it?
I don't know.
It was very vague.
I anticipate some reactions like that.
I don't know why.
What was weak about it, Trevon? Go ahead, speak on it.
Yeah, Trevon.
Be the voice of the hater.
I just think it's different. It's just so it's out there, like for a Marvel thing. I just think it's going to be different for people to grasp.
But we spent all of 2021 being very different. WandaVision was very different.
These are all characters that we've all known. Like it's not like this is somebody completely new.
Well, okay. Well,
crazy.
Let me say this then, Trevon.
Kind of weird,
If that is the mindset of people, I will tell the people, not you, Trevon, but the people. I don't think Marvel is for you going forward then, because it's only going to get crazier with the characters they're bringing.
You're gonna be meeting a lot of new characters. You're gonna have to embrace change soon.
Right. Because I mean, look, Marvel did it the way Trevon, I told you if I was redoing DC, I would want to do it. They started from the ground up. Right? They started with everything is simple. It's a guy in a suit, a guy with a hammer, it's a guy that's green, it's a chick who could fight, it's a guy with a bow and arrow. And then they just drastically got crazier. And now we're at the apex of that crazy, and it's only going to get crazier. So if the start of their dilemma is how different it looks, it's only going to get crazier.
Yeah,
we're gonna get Werewolf by Night. We're gonna get Blade. We're gonna get Namor.
Initial reactions of this. That's what I'm saying. Just people like this reaction to the trailer. I wouldn't be surprised if people are like, "What is this? This is weird. I don't know if I want to watch." I can see that. But when the show comes out, people will watch it, and they'll form their own opinion.
I don't want them to get their emotions tangled. You could say, "What is this? I've never seen this before," but it shouldn't be followed up with, "I don't know if I want to watch it." Because to me, it sounds like curiosity.
First, I don't like it, but it's everyone's first reaction.
To me, that always sounds like curiosity. Whenever you started off with, "What is this?" That sounds like curiosity. That doesn't sound like negativity. So I'm like, well, just embrace the curiosity. Just go, "What is this?"
No, that's the problem. So many people don't. They don't like it. They're curious, but they're also already like, "Fuck that." They're still like,
for me,
they're offended without
knowing this MCU. For me, knowing MCU, I'm watching everything MCU. It doesn't matter what it is. That's just my mindset. So
no, I mean that's fair.
I'm watching everything.
I'm just always usually of the mindset of don't let the hate creep in. Just let the curiosity.
I don't want to watch Loki. No shit.
Let the curiosity. Well, look, you're not wrong there. I still to this day want that to end. So you're not alone there.
I didn't want to see Loki, but I watched it.
Yeah, I watched it.
I still don't want to see Loki.
What? It was one of my favorite shows.
It was cool.
They don't.
It was dope, and I didn't want that. I didn't need a Loki show. I was like, fuck, man, really? You gonna waste time on Loki again?
I very much was in the mindset of, wait a minute, I'm sorry. You didn't give me Stark and Cap back, but you gave me Loki? The fuck? I don't do it. Who wants more of this? But it served a bigger purpose. But all right, we got a few more comments before we get out of here. Crayon Dude, I'm still gonna watch it, like Trevon said, because it's Marvel. It would be funny if he begins to wear that suit in the very last episode. I don't think we have to worry about that. I think whatever episode he gets chased by Conchu will probably be when he first suits up. He'll be in this suit a lot, I believe. All things unexplained. I like the mummy aspects of his costume. No problem. Look, no problem at all. Again, I don't necessarily dislike it. It's just I'm so used to the more simplistic look of Moon Knight that it tremendously caught me off guard, like a lot.
It looked weird at first.
Right.
That's why when I first saw it so many months ago and it was a leak, I was very jarred by it. And now to find out it's the actual costume. Oh,
right. Again, I'm not downing it. I'm not downing it at all. Because again, look, that Robert Pattinson suit took a while for me to get adjusted to. Again, just because it's like that bat suit is such a simplistic suit for people to keep trying to go so uber different than how that suit should look. But look, now I don't give a shit. The movie looks so great. I don't care how the suit looks. Crayon Dude, I haven't grasped the trailer yet. I just have to watch the series to understand it. Well, look, Crayon Dude, if you have any questions, maybe the three of us can help you out on. Just let us know.
Holler.
That looks like White Hobgoblin. All things. The one that
It's
you
not
showed,
wrong.
the one that you showed.
White Goblin.
White Hobgoblin. Yeah, because Hobgoblin with the
hood,
whole hood and whatnot.
Yeah.
I get where he's coming from.
I get it now. I was like, what? I get it.
Ranjit, I don't know who this is pointed to, Ranjit, but he's saying someone here is mad. If you're referring to me, I'm not mad. I just want people to not lead with hate. If you don't understand, it's like watching a toddler for the first time. What do toddlers always do when they can't figure something out? They get upset. They start crying. They get frustrated. We're all adults here. That shouldn't be how we lead into things. If you're curious, just be curious. Curiosity shouldn't lead to hate is all I'm saying. But I'm not mad at anyone. We have enough hate going on in the world. We don't need it in this space. This is supposed to be our happy space. So, you kick down the door and just go, hate all of it. Get it out of here. It's like, bro, this is the happy space.
If you're hating because you know the character and want better is one thing. Hating and not knowing anything because it looks weird. How can you hate something because it looks weird instead of I don't
or to hate something you know nothing about? It's such a weird way to go.
I'm so confused. Give it time. Or
you can be like me and just get sold by the transformation. I was like, oh, cool. Again, right, here we go.
Again, being intrigued is something I tell you guys all the time. I never support gatekeeping. I love when people come to me and go, oh, I have no idea what I'm looking at. And I'm like, do you have time? Pull a chair. Let's talk this out. Let me tell you what you're looking at. I love that. So that's what I'm saying. I prefer people to lead with curiosity. So if I know anything, I can help fill in some of the blanks. Like I said, if you watch the series and don't like it, that's on you. But to just hate something and you don't even know what you're looking at, it's just, I understand. That's putting a lot of energy into something for no reason. Just arrived. After analyzing the trailer, I noticed some sand around his bed when he wakes up. Also, there's a store named Atlantis, foreshadowing to Namor. That's very interesting. That's Davi. That's very interesting. I didn't notice it. I didn't notice the sand, but if they do that, that seems more so like when Khonshu takes a hold of him. Maybe they go to this, like get teleported to the sands. Again, we don't know because there's a lot about Mark Spector that this character's going to have to remember. So this character could have ended up in the sands. We don't know. Yeah, go ahead, Joel.
There's a fun fact. Apparently, that character that Ethan Hawke is playing, Arthur Harrow, only appeared in one issue. One issue. So there
But-
might be that character that needs to die.
What do we always say, Joel? What do we always say? If you are a showrunner or director, those characters are gold mines. Why? Because you can do whatever the fuck you want and no one cares. Like no one will care because they'll go, well, you only had that character for like 3 minutes.
Right.
You know?
There's not much
So-
to it.
Right. So that's perfect if that's the case. Let's see. Will Moon Knight be mature like the Netflix series? Yes, but not as mature as the Netflix series.
Yeah, it's on level R.
I'll say this. It'll be
They'll give you Daredevil. Won't give you.
it'll be as brutal as Daredevil was. But
Not
what I
Punisher.
think Moon Knight will do to kind of bridge that gap is I think when you see him being brutal, it'll be more to monsters and not necessarily people.
Mm.
Kind of like
I
how Ninja
see.
Turtles back in the day would cut robots and not Foot Ninja. So you're not showing kids have a Foot Ninja's head get cut off. I think Marvel will probably bridge that gap. So the bathroom scene that we saw in this trailer where he's beating the hell out of that, it's a monster, not a person.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it'll differentiate from what something like Daredevil would do, where he would beat the snot out of a human being. I think Moon Knight's aggressions will be taken out more
What
so
if it's-
in monsters.
But what if it's not a monster? It's actually a person. He just thinks it's a monster.
Now we're getting
Well,
deep.
But time out. But here's what still goes to my point. It'll show him beating what he
Mhm.
thinks is a monster, and then it'll just show the person's face, but it'll never show him
Mhm.
beating a person
Yeah.
to death like that.
Mhm.
So that's why I think they'll probably bridge the gap somewhere. Let's see. Joe says the trailer didn't reveal much at all. There will be a lot of stuff shown during the series.
There's
Also-
definitely-
Also, keep this in mind, Joe. We're in January. This doesn't come out to the end of March, so there will be a second and third trailer that I'm sure will show a lot more than
more
this.
marketing too.
Right.
So
And look, let's be real. Once Lego gets a hold of this, we'll know the whole fucking story of this series. Lego is probably the worst scooper in all of geekdom. Lego will drop a set that has Moon Knight standing next to Blade, standing next to Spider-Man, and we'll go, what the hell, Lego? Could we not see that in the series itself? And Lego's like, nah.
I'm actually, that always confuses me. Like, why did they allow them to put those things out? Like, because until the thing is out, wait.
Well, a
I
lot of
always
times,
wonder.
the Lego sets don't match up to the movie. Like they did
Yeah.
They did a Lego set of Captain Marvel for Endgame that wasn't in the movie. Like that was just for the toy set. So a lot of these are
But
to be
Spider-Man, they
believed.
had the suits and stuff, right? Did they like have the
Mhm.
suits and stuff in it? So
Yep.
those were accurate. I was like, oh,
They were,
Oh.
but I also don't think the suits were meant to be surprising.
yeah, that's true.
A lot of that was
I
all
didn't
in the
really care about the suits like that. Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually characters that they don't want you to see.
Yeah, true.
That's usually what Lego stays away from. So they usually do a good job with that. But all right, before we get out of here, let's see if anyone else is saying something.
Ooh, and this leads right to Multiverse of Madness. Yay.
I think he was beating up a werewolf, which was his first villain in the comics, I believe. Yeah, Davi. Joel and Trevon were saying like a combination of that. Joel was saying that was the first time we see him, and Trevon was saying, well, that did kind of look like a werewolf. And Kanan says it's Anubis that he's beating up. Werewolf by
Anubis.
night is much bigger.
Anubis.
What did I say?
Anubis.
All right, let's go with what you said then. Yeah, I mean, I said that, Ken. I kind of felt like if that was supposed to be a werewolf, no way you put that in the trailer. Just no way. That's a deep cut. That's a super deep cut.
Yeah.
Let's just
And we know
appreciate
it's
that.
coming.
Yeah.
The actual character is coming.
Right.
It's already casted.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
What's
casted 2 people.
yeah, they just recently casted a woman for possibly the vampire by night. So
See,
Like
this
it
is,
both.
see, dude, I never thought we in the MCU we would hear vampire werewolf like
Yeah.
Well,
witches.
I tell you what, once I saw
this is
Thanos,
my shit.
once I saw Thanos, part of me kind of felt like, well, nothing that Marvel owns is off limits. Like they could go as wild as they want. But this is the next phase of Marvel. It's about to get dark as hell. And
I love
Doctor Strange
supernatural stuff.
will be the forefront of that. But it's about to get real dark and twisted out here in the MCU.
This is
So
my
yeah,
time.
Trevon, all your werewolves and
Love
vampires,
vampires.
and
Love that stuff.
none of them will sparkle. So you'll have to get over that.
I like all kind of vampires. Don't do that. Don't do that.
They won't sparkle. So as long as you're okay with that.
I
Don't
watch
need-
all kind of vampires.
Don't need sparkly vampires. Yeah.
Yeah, no one will just be randomly walking with their shirt off. And then
I just
turn
want the
into a
super strength,
werewolf.
super speed. I just love. Just give me
Sounds
those kind of
bad.
vampires. Give me
Yep.
that.
And you know what, Joel? The more I keep seeing some of this dark universe start to form, the more I want that what's her name? God, with the from Ultimate Alliance that we were talking about. We want to be part of Midnight Suns. We keep
Okay.
forgetting her name.
Yeah. I don't know why you keep bringing her up. I'm like,
Because I the more I see where they're going in this, the more I'm just like, she would really fit in so well.
of course, she should have been there from the very beginning. Like I told you, like because when I originally thought they would possibly branch off, like what Marvel did, the street characters, they do it supernatural characters, and I told you years ago, I'm like, they need a girl. You can't just have all guys. You need a girl. So if Ghost, to me, it was gonna be Ghost Rider, Blade, Moon Knight, and this chick. I can't remember. Bloodstone, Elsa Bloodstone.
Yes, Elsa. Yes, there we go.
So
I thought you were talking about the girl from Runaways at first. Okay.
the Runaways girl,
Minoru with the staff.
yeah, Nico.
Yeah, Nico. Yeah.
I have no idea if those characters exist in the MCU. I doubt it.
They
Yeah.
don't. I don't think they do. But I'm saying I thought that's what you're talking about.
She is a cool character, but no.
Yeah.
I was thinking Elsa, the Monster Hunter. As
Yeah,
that.
I don't know that character.
Oh, you will. You will. There's no chance. I have no doubt, Joe. They'll get there.
And as far as those
right.
characters, Trevon, once we get mutants, I think maybe they'll revisit the Runaways. But that show just those characters just make more sense once you're introduced to mutants because one of them is a mutant. So it just makes more sense for that to wait. But again, that's a product that if I'm Kevin Feige, I'm like, that would do numbers on Disney Plus. That would do a lot of numbers.
Redoing Runaways would be interesting.
It would be because I think it would look. Again, shouts out to that Hulu team because they looked accurate as hell.
It was
looked
good.
great.
It was good.
It was
I
really.
liked it. Yeah.
And Cloak and Dagger.
I like Cloak and Dagger too. I liked it.
Let's see. All things unexplained. Do y'all think Black Knight or Blade will appear? Not Blade. I think maybe it's just two.
You won't get Black Knight either if you don't see
Yeah, Black Knight and Blade will probably the next time we see them will probably be together.
The Blade movie.
Doubt Blade shows up. Yeah, yep. Werewolf by Night and Vampire by Night have been cast. The Disney shows haven't been light. There have been some very dark moments. Look what U.S. Agent did to do. But that's my point, Joe. They didn't show it. That's what I was alluding to what Trevon was asking. In Daredevil, they would have showed it. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think Moon Knight will show that kind of brute violence against other people.
I can tell you who has been rumored to show up on the show. I can't tell you if it's true because obviously they're just rumors. There's been rumors that the Stained Glass Scarlet, who's a character from that comic book, might show up. There's rumors Bushman will show up. There are rumors that the Werewolf by Night will show up. Dracula will show up. Ripper.
Dracula.
Ripper of the Hellbent may show up. Osiris. Midnight Man might show up. So yeah, those are the rumored people that I have listed here.
Dracula is probably
Dracula
the biggest one that
amazing.
stands out to me.
Hearing that in MCU. Oh, I cry.
In there.
Let's see. Or maybe Ghost Rider. No, Ghost Rider definitely will not be in this series.
No,
Ghost Rider most likely cameos on Multiverse of Madness.
They have got to be using him. They canceled that show.
no,
Yeah, they're of course using it. I mean, Moon Knight is the first step to getting all of that. But to me, I don't need to see any of these characters before their new renditions. I really don't. I'll never give up on that. If they do it, fine. I just don't want you to show Blade before Mahershala. I don't want you to show Wolverine before the new Wolverine. I just don't want you to do any of that. I don't want you to do any of that.
Most of us are mad it's about to be
Crazy.
cameo heavy.
I think the worst part about
Very much cameo heavy.
Multiverse of Madness is just it's hard to debunk shit because like there's so much shit out there
that they could do, right? And again, let me be very clear. I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool or amusing to see Nicolas Cage again. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you start bringing back all of these fan favorites, it makes it a lot harder to move into the future. Because if Hugh Jackman is in Multiverse of Madness, I will have to sit here until X-Men have been casted and listen to the possibility that Hugh Jackman could still come back. And that's my problem. That's why I'm like, these cameos are great, but some people won't just take it as a cameo. You know what I'm saying?
We're getting Human Torch. We're getting Human Torch. We're getting Chris Evans Human Torch. I feel like.
I don't know how much that would make sense. I think Reed makes more sense.
It'd be funny. It'd be funny to see him as Human Torch.
Look, Trevon. Here's why. Because everyone keeps saying like that would be funny, but here's why I don't think you'll get it. Did we ever get a no shit Sherlock line in Infinity War between Robert Downey Jr.
Can we not talk about that?
Benedict? So I'm saying that look at that opportunity and how hilarious that would be. That's just a line. But you bringing back Chris Evans to be the Human Torch, no. I think Reed Richards makes way more sense than you going that far for comedy. Nicolas Cage showing up would be all the comedy you need. You don't need a Human Torch.
We're not going to slander Ghost Rider now. I actually like the first one.
I enjoyed the first one too.
The second one, I fell asleep.
I like it more than the first one.
Really?
Yeah. I will never understand that. I said that second one was just like, what the fuck is going on here? What is happening?
I preferred it. It was gritty.
Really? Maybe I go back.
No, God, no, don't go back. You're about to get a new Ghost Rider. Stop. The future. Midnight Suns is coming, absolutely. Or maybe Man-Thing will appear and rectify my WandaVision theories. Look, I'll say this, all things unexplained. I've let go of all my theories of anything WandaVision, and they're gone. They died. They died in February. I've let go of all of it. I hope theories of WandaVision come true for somebody. Because mine didn't. So if they take a back door to your theory, all things unexplained.
I'm still thinking about theories of WandaVision. I mean, it's over.
I feel like
well, no, he's saying. I guess his theory was more so wide ranging, not just for that series. I think more wide ranging.
I mean, anything's still possible. You know?
For sure, right. But all right, you guys got anything else before we get out of here? We're getting out of here. We got 10 likes, and at some point we had like 20 people watching. So thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome.
Half of you.
You guys are so awesome. Of course, we got a few bots in here, but I ignored it, so whatever. Yeah, all things unexplained. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta let go of theories, man. They're dangerous. They're very dangerous.
Yeah,
what do you say, Joel?
So you can fall into that hole and you get really depressed.
Oh man, yeah, I tell you, from January to March, man, I really thought about giving up on Marvel. I really did. I really, it was a dark time for me. It really was. Especially when that one person that I trusted was just like, bro, I'm hearing the end credit scene for WandaVision. If she gets sent down to this dimension, it's all fiery. And when she walks up, turns around Al Pacino as Mephisto. And I was just like, I will wet myself. And I remember watching her in the cabin, just like, oh no way, no way.
This person?
Do I still what?
Do you still
trust this person?
Oh no, God, no, I blocked them. They don't exist in our world anymore. They don't exist anymore. Well, hell, may as well go with Mephisto. All things unexplained. I was becoming a fan, and then you said that. So I mean,
Ghost Rider and Mephisto. Can that work?
It's hard to have one without the other. To be fair.
Well, Marvel does that shit. So
I mean,
no,
but
my
the
take is
devil does that, right?
He's gonna come.
Right.
It's a matter of time. That's all.
nope, sorry.
Oh,
Welcoming in
Still
Jamie.
very
What's up,
wonderful.
Jamie?
he's so
I finally
jaded.
saw it. What's great? And Jamie says she's a bot. I believe it, Jamie. I believe you're a bot. Yeah, so that's all we got for you guys. We broke down this trailer, and look, Disney, we did it sometimes without sound, so you better not flag us for nothing. Goodness gracious. You're just promoting your stuff, and you're not gonna flag us. Anyway, thank you to everybody in the comment section. Let me give you guys all a shout out. Joe, Jamie, All Things Unexplained, Kanan, Mr. E, let me see. I want to Ranjit, even though he never explained who was mad. Crayon Dude, Ravi. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. And look, stay tuned. We got some podcasts coming out this week. Stay tuned for that. And any other news that drops, me and Joel and Trevon will be doing Much to Do About Something to break down whatever the news or anything is. We just got some new artwork on the set of Batgirl of classic Michael Keaton in his Batman suit. I really hope they didn't rectify that look that was on the mural to begin with. I love that look.
Looks like they painted over it, actually.
It does, and it looks like they painted over Robin, so that breaks my heart. It really does. So it seems like maybe Gotham has turned on Batman, maybe. And maybe Batgirl is the new surgeons to, having a new Batman that the city can kind of flock to, I guess. I don't know, Joel.
I don't like that at all.
Spray painting.
I hate when you say shit like that. I'm like, what? I don't like some words that come out of your mouth.
What do you want me to say? The rumor is saying she's replacing Batman. What do you want from me? This is all for me.
Replacing in spirit, like she's going to be the new face. That's it, really, what it is.
That's what I was just saying.
No, you're saying that everyone hates Batman now. That's why that's a completely different reason. It's decided the fact he's 80 years old.
Well, again, it depends on if they've actually defaced him. Like they did Robin.
Well, they
So
did. They actually just put the actual Batman over that Batman figure. That's all they did.
Right. All right. All right. So any other news that comes out, guys, we will be talking about. And please check out. We did do a debunking of a lot of the what we think of Multiverse of Madness that probably won't come true. So that's up on our page too. So make sure you guys go check that out. And again, huge thank you to Joel and Trevon. This is a great night for Moon Knight. This character will now be in the sun where he belongs, or the moon, I guess, where he belongs. I don't know. But
drawn towards him.
Yes, he will get the eyes that he deserves. So this is a great night for that character. And shout out to Oscar Isaac.